If you're like me and don't have enough money to buy these, this video is for you. In this video, I made 3 different loadouts using 2 guns, the BP50 and HS. With these loadouts, you won't need a legendary weapon anymore because they're absolutely amazing. Each loadout has its own explanation, which I'll go over later in the video. Now that you know what this video is about, let's get into it. For the first loadout, I wanted to combine both weapons together and create a setup that works really well as a combination. Once you get used to these 2 weapons and learn how to switch between them depending on the situation, you'll have a really strong loadout. I made a few changes to both weapons to make the combination more practical. For example, I built the BP50 to perform better in mid-range and long-range fights while I focused on making the HS faster and more mobile. This way, you can use the BP50 when you need to fight from a distance and quickly switch to the HS when an enemy gets close. Remember to use the grenade to move faster and keep your mobility high. I also recommend using the exact perks I chose for this loadout because they help improve the accuracy, mobility, and overall speed of the setup. For the blue perk, I used High Alert. If you don't like using it, you can replace it with Dead Silence. For the second and third loadouts, I'm going to show you the best setup for each weapon individually. These loadouts are designed to perform really well in pretty much every situation, and I'll also explain the playstyle that works best with each one. Starting with the BP50. The loadout I made for it is great for all ranges, but it's especially strong in close-range fights. You can still take mid-range and long-range fights with it, but it will be slightly weaker compared to its close-range performance. This is mainly a rush-focused loadout, so you should play aggressively and keep the pressure on your enemies. Make sure you also use the grenades I included with this setup. Using them properly can make a big difference in your gameplay and help you get more kills while rushing. And for the third loadout, I made a dedicated setup for the HS shotgun. I'd say it performs really well in multiplayer, especially when you're fighting at close range. The only real weakness of this shotgun is its limited range, which can make things difficult when you're forced into mid-range or long-range fights. That's why I recommend using this loadout on smaller maps like Shipment, or on maps where you can easily get close to your enemies and take advantage of the shotgun's strength. Try to avoid open areas where you have to fight enemies from a distance. And if you don't want to struggle when enemies are out of your shotgun's range, I recommend carrying a pistol as your secondary weapon. This way, you can switch to your pistol and still fight back instead of being completely useless at longer ranges. I actually recommended a pistol at the end of my top 10 guns of this season video, and it works really well with the HS, so I definitely recommend checking that video out and using the loadout I made for that pistol as well.